It is lovely to see you all today. I'm going to share my screen for this piece because I want to read something to you. Let's see if I can get myself over to it. Okay. Do you see something that says "Just be here with me"? Does everybody see this?
It's your whole screen, if you'd like
It's my
that.
whole screen.
Yeah.
Can you see the "Just be here with me"?
Yeah. I'm
Is
just
there
saying we
anything?
can see your background as well. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
those are that's my lovely family, everybody. They can stay there. They're pretty cool. So this is I love this, and I found it on Etsy. I was looking up purchasing it for myself right now because it's just such a great reminder for me. I think I am a doer. I am a check things off my list. I literally have hundreds of binders that I've kept over the years with my checklist of to-dos, and it really works for me and I love it. And I have such an attachment to completing things that sometimes I write things down that I've already done just so that I can have the experience of checking it off. And it's in those moments when I do those that I think, could I explore this? What's happening here for me? And what am I attached to? And so this is, I've seen this on some of the social media feeds that I'm on, and I've just loved it. And it's the reminder to me that, we are complex beings in a really complex, layered world that is constantly changing. And we are all people who have chosen professions where we work with people in complex systems in life, in work, in all the things that we do. And so there's just so many layers. And so this reminds me, I can also just come to this one simple thing. And there's a wonderful list here, so I'm going to read it to you as we start to move into our practice. But the other thing that this reminds me of is that I often think about, I want to go to my breath. The breath is always available. You've heard me all say that. The breath is here. We often start our practice with our breath. And also, what I know about our breath is that our breath can be attached to trauma. Our breath can be attached to difficulties, to health issues. And so sometimes our breath doesn't feel like the safest thing to land on. And so, again, what I love about this poem and why I'm here today is to remind us that there's no wrong way to be in our practice. We can let go of the complexities around our practice and just allow it to be simple. So if when you hear me say, find your breath, what happens instead is a level of anxiety or a tightness, then focus on something else. Find a flower, find a spot on the wall, find the feeling of your glasses on your head, find where your hand touches your leg and what that feels like. What we're looking for is just a place to put our attention. Really, that's what we're doing. We're looking for a place to put our attention. And in the world of neuroscience, the reason that that's important is that we are kind of, I'm going to put it, we don't have muscles up there, but we're kind of building the muscle of being able to put our attention somewhere on purpose. That's what we're doing. When we find a flower, a sound, a scent to put our focus on, we're in the gym, we're practicing so that when there is that thing, and there will always be that thing that grabs your attention and takes it into the world of what if this happens, and all the anxiety that surrounds that, or the thing from your past that pulls your attention and brings you back, and you're ruminating and you're feeling all the complex feelings around that we can catch ourselves in that moment and come back to the present moment. That's what we're training for with this work. So let it be your breath or anything else. So as we move into this practice, which is what we're going to focus on today, is just keeping our attention focused on something. As you begin to close your eyes or just take a soft gaze, I'm going to read this to you. There is a mention of God in here, and I want you to know that you can fill that in with whatever is proper or feels good for you. In all of this, there's no right or wrong, just find your place in it. So go ahead and close your eyes or take a soft gaze. And I'm going to just begin to read this, and then we'll guide in through the practice. So it says, just be here with me. Signed, the moon, the stars, your still hot cup of coffee, your daughter, your son, your spouse, your heart, the green grass, the wildflowers, the waters you long to swim in. Just to be here with me. Signed, the color yellow, the color blue, your favorite poem, your favorite blanket, the wind in your hair, the waves on the ocean, the mountain air, your dad, your mom, the rain, the ice cream cone, the butter sizzling with garlic in the frying pan. Just be here with me. Signed, the city squirrel, the country squirrel, Jupiter, the photo album, your grandmother's rosary, your favorite song, ink and paper, your best friend, the money in your wallet, the fork in your hand, brushes and paint, downward facing dog, the color turquoise, the almost invisible shade of pink. God, just be here with me. Signed, the skyline, the earth beneath your feet, a hammock, the shade of a giant tree, this moment, right here, now. Your bones, your belly laugh, your breath, your breath, your breath. And as you listen to that, you might find your own list that you want to add, your own items. Just be here with me now. Allowing your attention to rest on a focal point. And you might do that with your eyes open or your eyes closed. You might find it through one of your senses or in a snapshot from the past. Just be here with me now. Allow your full attention to move into that focal point, whatever it is, noticing the subtleties, noticing the qualities. You might even quietly or internally describe them to yourself. You might notice any shifts in your emotional state. As our mind travels to places, our emotions go with it. So even if it's a past experience and we're ruminating about it and it's stressful and we're thinking about it over and over, we are releasing all of those emotions and neurotransmitters, activating sympathetic nervous system, all in response to something that is not here in the present moment. And so in the same way, we can do that with emotions on the other side of the spectrum as we think about something that brings us joy We're noticing that perhaps. Watching our body and our mind respond. And as our mind wanders, which for most of us it will, multiple times, we will find that our mind has gone on to something else. Our only job is to just notice and return your attention back to your focal point. You can label that if you want. You can say thinking and then come back. You don't have to judge it, define it. We just notice it. My mind has wandered. Come back to my focal point. Simple. We'll do that as many times as we need to. There's no right number, there's no wrong number. And each time we show up to a practice, it will change. Even years after practicing, we might sit down and find that we have a very busy, wandering mind. And that's okay. We release any judgment and simply do the practice. As we begin to close our practice, I'm assuming that many of you are going into a long weekend. And I want to invite you to find a few moments of space this weekend. And as your mind makes it more complex than it needs to be, just remind yourself that this can be a simple moment. It can be any focal point. Even amongst loudness and chaos, there is something that we can bring into our focus. Notice, be with it. When you're ready, we'll slowly open our eyes or bring our gaze back together. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining this morning. Have a wonderful, safe weekend. We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye.